Brilliant. But yes, we made it. Despite all the circumstances of rushing and things going on in our lives, it just goes to show just how busy we all are, doesn't it? That all these things happen sometimes before a yoga class. And it's perhaps apposite that they have, because this class is all about chilling out. I did a workshop at the weekend. I led one called a pre-Christmas chill out, aka don't get your tinsel in a tangle. And I think it's a time of year where we can get very, very busy. Maybe we've got extra people in the house, even given the circumstances at the moment, we might have extra guests coming, Christmas present wrapping. There just seems to be additional things on our to-do list. So really use this as an opportunity to kind of recoup, recharge, re-energize, slow things down a little bit. And if you find yourself moving a little bit faster because you're kind of conscious that you have got things to do, and we tend to move a little bit quicker through things when we're anxious to get on to the next thing. See if you can really challenge yourself to slow yourself down, and maybe that starts with our breath. So it's a nice slow flow, nothing too hectic today, really synchronizing movement with breath, so we can enjoy a chance to, what's that poem? Was the calm before Christmas. Let's see if we can create a little bit of that this morning. So let's bring ourselves down to lie down, honouring whatever's going on in your body today. Any aches or pains, just take it nice and easy. Let's bring the knees with you, laying your head very tenderly down on the floor, and just maybe have a little gentle massage through the low back. Maybe it's a circling of the knees or a gentle rocking from side to side. Let's keep it nice and gentle to start with. Let's releasing any tension from the morning. Maybe you've not been up for very long, so just releasing any tension or tightness from the low back. Sometimes it's in the morning. And then just let your feet drop down to the floor. Now, options to separate your feet a little wider and just let your inner knees rest against each other. That could be quite nice if you've got any tightness in the back. Or maybe extend the legs out in front of you, one at a time. About hip width apart, heels in, toes out, whatever works for you. I'm just going to roll up to seated so I can talk to you, but you go ahead and get yourself nice and comfy there. And if you have had a really busy few days, a busy morning, and it's more comfortable or comforting, perhaps, to rest a hand on your chest and one on your belly, then go ahead and do that, sliding maybe the fingertips out to the side of your body so your elbows can rest on the floor. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And as you breathe out, breathe away the morning that you've had thus far, the week that you've had, so we can bring ourselves into this moment, this next hour for ourselves. A lovely opportunity to press pause in the middle of what can be a very busy and frantic time for many of us. So really relishing this opportunity to slow down. And just reminding yourself there's nowhere else you need to be. There's nothing else you need to be doing for the next hour except being on your mat. Everything else can wait. It will be there for us to pick up again when we finished our practice. So let's start to draw the awareness more inward now by bringing our awareness to our breath. And just start to watch your breath. You don't need to change it, alter it, try and control it in any way. Simply observe your breath, noticing where you feel the breath in your body this morning. It might be in your chest. Your belly might be slowly lifting and falling with each inhale and exhale. Become that observer, noticing the speed, the depth of our breath. And then perhaps over the next few rounds of breath, if you're comfortable, you can start to elongate each part of your breath. So a slightly deeper inhalation and a slightly longer exhalation. And by slowing down the breath, we're sending messages to our body and to our brain just to begin to slow down. It's okay to let go. It's okay to begin to soften, to relax. We deserve it. And as your breath begins to slow down, so perhaps you can feel your body beginning to release any pockets of tension, surrendering to gravity, letting go, beginning to relax into the floor. That sense of heaviness. And we'll start a little bit with our upper body, a place where we can carry a lot of tension. And when it's cold as well, coupled with that, we can become a little tight in the shoulders and the neck. So we'll do a little release for that at the beginning of our practice. So if your legs are outstretched, feel free to keep them there. But if it starts to pull on your back, then go ahead and bend your knees. If your hands are resting on your body, let's go ahead and just bring the arms down alongside you. Palms gently resting down toward the floor, fingertips lengthened towards the top of your mat. So we're just going to move the right arm. So we're going to float the right arm back above your head, trying not to overarch the back as you do so. And the back of the hand will just hover off the floor. Feel that nice sense of length. And then bring that right arm out to the right in a big arc or semicircle. Just hovering off the floor until the little finger edge of your hand is just back down by your hip. And then release the palm back down to the floor. So just the right arm. Inhale, arm extends, back of the hand hovers off the floor. Exhale, that big semicircle out to the right, palm up, hand hovering off the floor, scooping the arm back down, and then turning the palm down. One more like that. Inhale, right arm reaching and lengthening back. And then that nice semicircle out to the side, back down towards your hip. This time we'll inhale and reach the arm back. And as you return the arm out to the side, just drop your chin down to your left shoulder. So we're getting a little neck stretch. Head coming to center, right arm reaching back, big breath in. And breathing out, circling the arm back to the hip as you roll your head to the left, chin to shoulder. One more time, inhale. Float the arm back. And exhale, big scoop out to the side, chin to left shoulder. We've got a clicky shoulder. Let's release the hand to the floor, bring the head back to look up towards the ceiling, and we'll start with the left arm. So without worrying about the breath, we'll just float the left arm back, see how that feels. Back of the hand hovers off the floor. And then that big semicircle out to the side, drawing the little finger edge of your hand back down towards your hip. So left arm lifting on an inhale. And exhaling, semicircle out to the side, back of the hand hovers off the floor, all the way back down. One more like that. Floating the arm back, lengthening through the side of the body. And then float the arm all the way back down. We'll add that little head roll for the next three. So reach the arm back. And this time as you circle the arm to the side, we drop the chin down to the right shoulder. So we're getting that little neck stretch. Head to center as you reach the arm back. Big breath in. Again, trying not to lift the ribcage. And exhaling, head rolls to the right as you circle the arm back down towards your hip. Last time, left arm, lengthening all the way back, reaching through the fingertips, rolling the head to the right, little neck stretch. And then turn the palm down towards the floor, bring the head to center. And this time as you breathe in, let's reach both arms out long behind you. This time back of the hands finding the floor. You might need to widen your arms. If your knees are bent, we'll all stretch one leg and then the other out in front of you. And take a moment in that lovely full body stretch to have a little wiggle into your hips, stretching through the fingertips, sliding one heel away from you and then the other, reaching back through the arms. Take one more deep breath into that full body stretch. And this time as you exhale, walk the heels back in towards you. Bring the arms down alongside you. And then we'll bring one knee and then the other in towards your chest. One hand on each knee. Now imagine you're doing a nice big breaststroke with the legs. So we'll start to circle the knees out to the side, taking them wide. And then drawing them back together as you bring them back in towards your chest. And again, so you might synchronize that with your breath in some way. As you draw those two independent circles with your knees. You might even feel a little arching and rounding through your back there as you move through the pelvis. And then just change direction. Take the knees around the opposite way. Again, a little breaststroke action. Getting into the hips this morning. Lovely. And then the next time your knees come back in towards your chest, we'll pause. Bring both hands onto your right knee and just let your left foot come down to the floor, knee pointing up towards the ceiling. So give that knee a little squeeze, try to relax your shoulders, soften your face as you just feel a little stretch through the lower back. And only if it feels nice on your back this morning, Maybe you can experiment stretching that left leg out in front of you, keeping the heel pressed down to the floor, toes up towards the ceiling as you squeeze that right knee in towards your belly. So kicking out through that heel, lots of energy out through that left leg. And then just point the toes of your left foot and start to lift the leg up towards the sky. So we're taking that left leg up towards the ceiling. And then flexing the foot, we lower the leg back down again. Maybe the heel lands or until the heel hovers off the floor. So inhale, you sweep the leg up towards the sky. And exhale to lower. Now, if it's too much to bring it down toward the floor, you can make the movement much smaller. Inhale that big sweep up, leading with a pointed toe. And then exhaling with a flexed foot. Let's do one more of those. So keeping the right knee squeezed in all the time. This time as you slowly extend that leg back down all the way to the floor, left heel lands. We'll bring left hand onto your right knee and just let your right arm fall alongside you. And then take a little roll over to the left, bringing that knee with you. Go really easy if you've got any back issues. If it's too much, just bring both knees in towards your chest and take a little circle with the knees. If you're with me in that twist, your knee probably isn't quite touching the floor, your shoulder blade will have lifted. That's absolutely fine. Let's roll all the way back through the middle, keeping that knee squeezed in towards your chest. Slide that left heel in, bring the left knee in, one hand on each knee, and let's resume that little breaststroke action with the legs there. Taking the knees out nice and wide. And again, you might feel that arching and rounding through your back. Changing the direction of those independent circles you're drawing with each knee. Straightening and bending the elbows. And then the next time you bring your knees in towards your chest, we'll bring both hands onto your left knee. And just bring your right foot to the floor, so the knee's pointing up towards the ceiling to start with. Little squeeze into that knee. Just take care as you bring that knee in that you're not tensing your shoulders or gripping in the face there. So relaxing your jaw, softening your shoulders. You might want to stay here, or if you want to slide that right leg away, keep the heel on the floor, toes pulled up towards your face, knee squeezed in towards your chest there. So you're getting that lovely lateral stretch through the low back. Ready for those leg lifts. So by all means, stay here if you're enjoying the stretch, or point the toes and start to take the right leg up towards the sky. So we've got to use our core now, and then flexing the foot, we start to lower all the way back down. The heel can land, or maybe it just hovers. Inhale, pointed foot, leg sweeps up. And exhaling, flexed foot, send energy out through the heel as you lower. Lovely. Big sweep up on an inhale. And really keep that navel hug down towards your belly as you lower the leg down toward the floor. One more time, big sweep up as you breathe in. And this time we'll bring that leg slowly to land on the floor. Heel resting. Right hand to left knee. And just roll to your right side now. So just let the left arm drop alongside you. You can turn your head away from your knees or keep the gaze more neutral up towards the ceiling. So you find that little rotation through the back. Lovely. And then let's roll back through the middle, bringing that knee back in towards your chest, sliding right heel back in. Knee comes in towards chest. And this time we'll keep the knees together and take them round in a circle. So maybe trying to get into the sides of the buttocks here. Circling the knees one way. And then round in the other direction, just loosening off the low back. Now deciding how you want to come up to seated today. So you might want to hold behind your knees and roll up, or just roll to one side. Whatever feels good. Woo, lovely jubbly. Now we're going to come to seated, so you can pop something underneath your bottom to lift your hips if you want to. Right leg crossed in front of left leg, if that feels good, or you can keep the legs extended. The choice is yours. So finding that nice comfortable position, fingertips just down alongside your hips, lifting up out of your pelvis there. Let's take a big breath in as you reach the arms up, lifting the chin. And as you bring the hands together down to your heart, let your chin drop, but think about lifting your breastbone to meet your thumbs, so you're still pulled up nice and tall. Inhale, lift your chin, raise the arms. Exhale, chin to chest. Let's bring the fingertips down toward the floor. Lovely. Just one more of those. So inhale, sweeping up, palms facing upwards, lifting chin. Exhale, keep sitting up nice and tall as you bring the hands to your heart. Inhaling up. This time as you exhale, let's bring fingertips down toward the floor. And we'll take the right arm all the way up towards the sky. and then over into a lovely side bend this morning. So let your left elbow bend in towards your waist, energy out through the fingertips. Maybe tuck your chin in and try gazing up towards the ceiling there. See how that feels on the neck. Lovely. And then just take your gaze down towards your left knee. And we're going to take that right arm out to the side, lowering it down, down, down until it comes roughly level with your hip. Now really energize out through the fingertips of that right hand. And just adjust the position of your head there, your neck, so you can feel a stretch in the side of the neck. So you might need to lift your chin, you might need to tilt it up towards the sky. Just feel that nice stretch out through the side of the neck. Or keep energizing out through those right fingertips. Lovely. And then pushing into that supporting hand, we're going to rise up through the middle, taking the arms up towards the sky, breath in, taking a twist around to the right this time as you breathe out. So left hand coming across the body, sitting up nice and tall, picking up your breastbone on your next inhale, and then seeing if you can turn into that twist a little bit more deeply as you exhale. Nice steady breaths there. Lovely. So keeping the other hand behind you, you're going to bring that left hand round behind you so you're facing forwards, fingertips pressing down into the floor, loop the shoulders away from your ears, maybe lift your chin. And if you want to press your hips forwards, coming up onto your knees, feel free to do that for a little hip stretch, keeping the chin tucked in. Or keep your bottom down this morning. Chin comes in, bottom lowers. Let's extend both legs out in front of you. Nice generous bend in the knees as you inhale, sweeping the arms up. And let's take a nice forward fold. So remember, you can really bend your knees. Any back issues, you might want to wrap your arms underneath your thighs and just let your forehead fall towards your knees. Your back feels okay, your legs might be a little bit straighter. Elongating out through the back, chin tucked in. Whoa, waking up the hamstrings this morning. And then when you're ready, we'll walk the hands slowly back up towards you and we'll recross the legs left in front of right this time. So again, go ahead and pop yourself on a cushion if you need to. And then we'll sweep the arms up, big breath in, maybe lifting chin, and exhaling, fingertips finding the floor. And then this time, left arm lifting as you breathe in, and over the top as you breathe out. So really energize out through the fingertips. I like to turn my palm down there, softening that right elbow as you tuck your chin in, and taking that little gaze up toward the sky there. And then we'll take the gaze down towards your knee as you lower that left arm till it's roughly level with your hip. And then get that sense of energy out through the fingertips, stretching it away, and have a little play with where you want your head to be. It might feel different on this side. I've got to kind of pull my head back a little bit to feel it in that side. You might notice one side feels stiffer than the other. Might be the way we carry our handbags or shopping, where we carry our tension, where we've got our screens. We're working at a slight angle. So we're going to push the floor away, come back up through the middle, breathing in and breathing out. Let's take that twist round to the left. So this time, right arm travels across the body. Other hand snuggles behind you, making sure you're really lifting up and out of your hips there. Picking up your breastbone as you breathe in and finding a little bit more rotation as you breathe out there. Lovely. And then keeping that hand behind you, come back through the middle. Bring the other hand behind you. Fingertips can point forwards or out to the side. We'll press the fingertips down, lifting up through the chest. By all means, stay there or push the hips forwards. Tucking your chin in and squeeze at the bottom. And then slowly lower down. And again, last time to extend the legs out in front of you. Breathing in to reach up and breathing out to come all the way down. Again, softening there, no sense of forcing the body into a position it doesn't want to go in. So if there's a need to bend your knees, go ahead and do that, no problem at all. Lovely. And then walking the hands back towards you. This time we'll bend the knees and just flick the feet around so we can find our way onto all fours this morning. And as you bring your hands underneath your shoulders, really get the feeling of spreading your hands in towards the mat. And as you do that, you might feel that almost it's like a little vacuum underneath your palm there as you press down into your knuckles. And just bring your chest forward, start to dip your belly, allow your tailbone to lift. So we come into our cow pose. And let's just pause there for a breath or two. Normally we start moving with our breath, but really enjoy that sense of powering down with your hands so we're not collapsing in the shoulders. Feeling that lovely stretch through the chest. And then when you're ready, let's reverse that, coming into our angry Halloween cat. It's not very Christmassy, is it? Maybe it's a seasonal camel. Dropping your chin down, tucking tailbone under, and again, let's just pause there for a breath or two. Feeling now their shoulder blades stretching apart as you send them left and right. And then when you're ready, let's sink in with the breath. So inhaling, heart pulling forwards, pressing into your hands as you arch the back, cow pose. Exhaling, angry cat. Really remembering to tuck the tailbone under as well. So we're getting the lower back involved. And just roll with your breath now. Maybe close your eyes so you can get that lovely sense of, again, drawing the spotlight inward. Lots of external stimulations at this time of year, the beautiful Christmas lights and cards and everything that's going on around us. But let's just block out any distractions for a moment by closing the eyes. Inhale, heart pulling forwards. And the next time we come into that angry cat, let's pause, rounding the back. And then just start to ease your hips back towards your heels, coming down into a child pose. Bottom might not touch your heels, that's fine. Walk the hands forwards, come onto the tips of your fingers and thumbs if you can. And just press the fingertips forwards and down so you feel a little bit of energy through the arms. Down toward the armpits, from your armpits to your hips. Deep, steady breaths there, breathing nice and wide and deep into your back body. And then we'll start to build a little flow. So when you bring your hands down to the floor, we'll find our way back onto all fours. Ready to start building some flow this morning. Slowly, slowly. So as you inhale, let's come into our cow pose, arching the back. And as you exhale, tuck the toes. This time, lift the knees, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Back down onto all fours when you're ready to breathe in. Maybe a little arching of your back. Exhale, flatten feet, hips to heels. We'll take that child pose. So inhaling, coming forwards with that arched back. And then exhaling, lifting the knees, stretching the hips up and back, downward dog, gaze back between your heels. Inhaling, we drop back down onto all fours, again, maybe with that little arch of the back, before we exhale and take that child pose. Let's do one more, then we'll add on. Inhale, heart pulling forwards. Exhale, downward dog, so slowing it down, each little sequence like a moving meditation today. Inhale, lowering the knees. And exhale, child pose. Let's pause there in the child pose. Now we're going to start adding on with our flow. So inhaling onto all fours. Exhaling up into downward dog. And we're going to all meet in downward dog. If you prefer to stay on all fours this morning, feel free. And from that downward dog, let's start to take a little syncopated pedal out with your feet. Bending one knee and then the other. See if you can sync that up with your breath. Maybe bending one knee as you inhale and swapping sides as you exhale. Maybe adding a little twist, you're turning to look underneath the armpit of the leg that you're straightening. So a little movement through the hips and into the back. And then let's find that downward dog. So maybe a generous bend in your knees. You can really press your hands forwards and down, stretching the hips up and back. Take your gaze between your hands. And as you inhale, let's step the right foot forwards and drop the back knee. That's it, beautiful. We're going to sweep the arms up into a nice lunge, bringing the palms together. And as you exhale, we're going to bring the hands down to the heart. So a little stretch for the hips now. So inhale, take the arms up. And as you exhale, allow the hips to drop forwards as you bring the hands down to your heart. So we take a little shift of the energy forwards. And then press into the foot. Inhale, rise back up. Beautiful. And exhale, allow that left hip to drop forwards. Lovely. Inhale, so we energize into that front foot, rise up. And exhaling all the way down. Lovely. Just one more time, inhale. And this time as we exhale, we're going to bring the hands down to frame that front foot. Left hand stays where it is. Let's take the right arm up towards the ceiling into a lovely twist. Make sure your chest is pulling forward. You can look up or down or breathe in. And breathing out, hand coming down, we'll pick up the back knee and step back into your downward facing dog, hips nice and high. Breathing in, coming back down onto all fours. Breathing out, child pose. Keep the arms nice and long in front of you as we build our floor flow. Option to stay here or coming onto all fours as you breathe in. And continuing forwards and down between your arms as you breathe out, down onto your belly. Peeling up your chest as you breathe in, back to all fours. Exhale, hips to heels. We'll do that twice more if that feels nice this morning. Inhale all fours. Feel free to take a child pose, rest when you need to. Exhaling lower. Pressing into your hands, peeling the chest up and back. Inhale. Hips to heels, exhale, lovely. Just one more time. And again, challenging yourself to slow your roll this morning. Inhale, all the way back up. We'll meet in that child pose. So another little variation of child pose. This time we'll nudge your bottom to the left and take both hands over to the right side of your mat. You can keep your hands apart or bring your left hand on top of your right hand, dropping that left armpit, that left shoulder, and maybe energizing your hands forwards on the diagonal so you get a nice stretch into the left side of the body. Take a couple of breaths there, making that little C shape through the body. And then coming back through the middle, this time nudging your bottom to the right, hands come to the left side of your mat. Again, you can keep them shoulder width or this time right on top of left. Energizing the arms forwards, dropping that right armpit, that right shoulder, so you feel an evenness across your upper back. Lovely. And then we'll come all the way back through the middle, ready to carry on our little flow. So inhaling onto all fours, exhaling, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Come into that little pedal again. Again, inhaling and exhaling as you bend the legs, maybe again, adding that little peep underneath one armpit. Taking that little twist. And then coming to stillness, bending the knees, sending the hips back, taking the gaze forwards, breathing in, and stepping left foot forwards, dropping the back knee. So we've got left foot forwards this time. When you're ready, energize the arms up into that lunge, breathing in, hands to heart, breathing out, ready for that little hip opener. So breathing in, arrow the arms up. And as you exhale, just let the hips drop forwards as you bring the hands down to the heart. Lovely. Push the floor away. So we bring the chest back up. Inhale. And exhale. So getting a little hip stretch. Again, an area where many of us can hold on to a lot of tension. Breath in. And breath out. Lovely. So last time, breathing in, taking the arms up. As we breathe out, we'll bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Right hand stays on the floor this time. Left arm lifts, turning the chest towards that front knee. Reaching the arm up towards the sky. We'll take one more inhale. And exhale, landing the hand. Pick up the back knee and step back into your downward facing dog. Breathing into all fours. Breathing out for that child pose, option to stay there. Or again, breathing in, coming with me to all fours. Down onto your tummy as you breathe out. Elbows hug into the sides of the waist. Breathing in, picking up your chest. Breathing out into that child pose. Lovely. We'll do just one more of those. Breath in, rounding up onto all fours, and then very tenderly laying yourself down onto your tummy. Lovely. Breathing into all fours. Pause in all fours now. Taking your knees a little bit wider apart, big toes together, before you come back into that child pose for our last little variation of child pose. So knees slightly wider apart. We'll come onto the fingertips of your right hand so you can feed your left arm underneath your right arm. And try and roll that right armpit up towards the sky, coming into a little version of thread needle. You might feel a little stretch in your inner thigh as well. Lovely. And then when you're ready, reaching that left arm in front, coming up onto your fingertips so you can feed right arm underneath this time. Again, taking that little peep underneath the armpit as you roll that armpit up towards the ceiling. Lovely. And then both arms reaching in front of you, coming up onto all fours, bringing the knees back underneath the hips. We'll tuck the toes, lift on up into our downward dog. And this time, walk your feet forwards to meet your hands. So you're coming to the top of your mat. Real generous bend in your knees. Allow your head to hang. Maybe a cradle of your elbows. And if you need a little bit more support for your back today, you can always rest your hands just above your knees and come up halfway if that feels more comfortable. If you're doing that little sway, make sure it's coming from your waist and not your elbows pulling you round. So see if you can add the element of control. It's a subtle change, but it brings it perhaps a little bit more into control. And then let the arms dangle in front of you. We'll bring the hands up to your shins or to your thighs so we can lift the chest into that flat back position, sliding the shoulders down the back. We'll breathe in and breathing out, bending the knees back down into that fold. Twice more, so hands might be on your shins or your thighs as you lengthen, crown of the head forwards. Exhale as you release down. Chin tucking in as you come up last time into that halfway lift, breathing in. And as you breathe out, back down into the forward fold, we'll keep the generous bend in the knees now as you roll your way up to stand, head coming up last. I'm just going to adjust the screen as we do that. And when you get there, we'll sweep the arms up towards the ceiling as you breathe in. And breathing out, bring the hands down to your heart. Let's add a little knee bend. So inhale, arms sweep up. And exhaling, hands coming down to heart. Lovely. One last time. Inhale. Beautiful. And exhale. Lovely. Let's soften the knees, interlace the hands and push the palms up towards the ceiling there. So if this is too much for your shoulders today, feel free to take the arms apart. If you can, palms press up towards the sky. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, take a little side bend to the right. So a little softness in the knees. Inhale back through the middle. And exhaling over to the left. Lovely. Breathing in, rising up, separating the hands. And as you exhale, big swan dive back down into that forward fold, all the way down. Lifting up halfway as you breathe in, fingertips to floor, shins or thighs. And breathing out back down into that fold. Press the floor away, rise up to stand. Arms might be out to the side or straight in front of you. Hands coming down to heart, lovely. Let's interlace the hands, pushing the palms up towards the sky. Soften the knees a little bit as you inhale. Over to the left this time as you exhale. So a little hip bump. Inhale through the middle. Exhaling over to the other side. Inhale as you straighten the legs, separate the hands. Exhale, deep swan dive all the way down over the legs. Finding that halfway lift as you breathe in. And breathing out to fold. Last time to rise up to stand, breathing in. And then hands coming down to heart, breathing out. Lovely. So we're doing a little bit of Qigong here. It's a little bit of balancing as well, just to help us, again, slow things down, calm a busy mind. So we're going to interlace the hands now. Just bring your palms to face up, just in front of your lower belly. So we're going to draw the hands up towards your heart. And then flip the palms up towards the sky. And as you do so, maybe lift up onto the balls of your feet. Pause there, try not to roll the feet out to the side. Then as you lower your heels, the hands swim all the way behind you so you can interlace your hands. Draw your knuckles down, we'll inhale. And as you exhale and take that forward fold, bend the knees, maybe the arms lift up and over. If you don't like that on the shoulders, just bring your fingertips down to the floor. Lovely, release the hands onto your low back and then sweep the arms up towards the sky, rising to stand as you inhale. And exhale, lowering the hands all the way back down in front of you. So we're going to add the breath with that, interlace the hands. Inhale as you draw them up to your heart. And as you exhale and push the palms up, maybe lifting up onto the balls of the feet. Take an inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, lower the heels with resistance. Arms sweep all the way back behind you. Soften the knees, knuckles draw down, chest lifts, breathing in. All the way down over the legs as you breathe out, bending the knees, maybe the arms come up and over. Pause there, let the head hang. And then release the hands to the low back. When you're ready to breathe in, big sweep of the arms all the way up towards the sky. And exhaling, hands coming down towards your heart. Lovely. We're going to do that one last time. So make sure you've got some space behind you to step back with your right foot. We're going to come into a warrior. So hands just interlaced in front of the lower belly. Last time, inhaling, hands to heart. Exhale, push the palms up as you rise up to stand. Pause there for a moment. Big breath in. Breathing out to lower the heels. Swim the hands behind you and interlace them. Bend the knees, draw the knuckles down, breath in. Breathing out, take that forward fold and just pause in that forward fold now, belly draping over your thighs. And maybe this time you can start to straighten your legs a little bit. So we're opening up in the backs of the knees, only if that feels good. Lovely. Let's release the hands to the low back. Bend your knees. You can bring your fingertips to the floor, and we'll step right leg back into a warrior one. So the heel is in, toes out about 45 degrees. Walk the left foot towards your left hand. And then when you're ready, we're going to sweep the arms up towards the sky before bringing the hands to the heart. So just make sure that that right hip is kind of swinging towards the top of your mat. And then elbows in towards your waist, palms facing up towards the ceiling. So keeping the front knee bent, we're going to extend the arms forwards. Take a little shift of the weight forwards, pressing into your back heel. And then as you straighten both legs, we're going to take the arms out to the side, and then elbows come back in towards your waist. So inhale, bend the knee, offer the arms forwards. And then exhale, a little semicircle of the elbows back in towards the waist, both legs straight. Inhaling, offering arms forwards, power into that back heel. Exhale, legs straighten. Beautiful, one more time. So really get that sense of moving with your breath, offering it forwards. And then bringing the arms back in. This time we'll inhale, sliding the arms forwards, and then turn the palms to face each other, back into that warrior one, energizing the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, hands come behind you again, interlacing them. Now, option to stay there, maybe soft elbows, or straighten the arms, draw the knuckles down, breathe in. And as you breathe out, we start to bring the chest forwards and down to the inside of the front thigh, into humble warrior. Maybe the arms lift up and over. If that's too much, you can always stack both hands on that front thigh and give yourself a little bit of extra support. If you're in humble warrior, you're letting your gaze drop towards that back heel. And then let the knuckles pull you all the way back up into your warrior. Release the arms up towards the sky as you breathe in, and breathing out, bringing fingertips to frame the front foot. And just slide that right leg back behind you, dropping the hips, chest pulling forwards as you take the left arm up towards the ceiling into a twist. You can keep that back knee lifted or lower it down. Lovely. Both hands finding the floor. Option to come into downward dog, or take the left leg up and back into a three-legged dog, straightening it up. And then lowering both feet down to the floor, downward dog. Option to skip this bit, take a child pose, or rolling the body forwards to plank this time as you inhale. Knees down, chest down as you exhale. Coming up through cobra as you breathe in, chest pulling forwards. And as you breathe out, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. All of that optional. Let's pause there just to recoup, gathering the breath in that downward dog. Pressing the hands down, extending the hips back. And then taking some baby steps forwards, bringing your feet once more behind your wrists into that forward fold. When you're ready to breathe in, coming up halfway into your flat back, extending the chest forwards, and breathing out to fold back down. Rising up to stand on an inhale. And exhaling, hands coming back down towards the heart. I'm just going to come to the other end of my mat so I can mirror you. So interlacing the hands in front of the lower belly, we'll do the left leg. So inhaling, hands draw to heart. And as you exhale and flip the palms up, we rise up onto the balls of the feet. Pause there as you inhale. Exhale, lower the heels, swimming the hands all the way back behind you. Well done. Soften the knees. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, forwards and down, leading with the chest. Keep the knees bent, arms might lift up and over. And again, that option to maybe start to straighten the backs of the legs. Lovely. Let's bring the hands down onto the low back, bend the knees, we can plant the hands down. So step left leg back this time into that warrior one. So I'm going to walk my right foot towards my right hand, train track position with the legs, and then rising on up. So just again, it's that left hip, we'll just swing to the top of the mat this time, hands coming to heart. So take a moment, you can always widen your stance if you need to. Elbows coming towards the waist, palms up. And really energize out through that back heel as you extend the arms forwards, back leg might straighten a little bit. And then we straighten both legs as we do that little semicircle, lovely. Inhale. And exhale. I think it's a little Qigong move this, or Tai Chi is called white monkey offers fruit. Inhale. Could be a seasonal fruit this time of year. Maybe a clementine. So inhaling, powering out through that heel, lovely. And exhale. So this time we'll take the arms forwards, bending deeply into that front knee, and then arrow the arms up towards the sky. Lovely. Lifting the chest, maybe lifting the gaze. Breathing in and breathing out. Hands come all the way back behind you. So again, we can interlace them. Draw the knuckles down, lift your chest, breathing in and breathing out. We bring the heart forwards, arms might lift. So we take the gaze towards the back heel. Now again, remember, you can always stack your hands on that front thigh for a little bit of extra support if you need to. If you're with me in that humble warrior, we're keeping that front foot pressed down into the mat so we're not collapsing there. There's energy through that front leg. Lovely. Let the knuckles draw you all the way back up. Sweep the arms back up into your warrior. Breathing in. Breathing out. As you lower the hands, we slide now that left leg back, all 10 toes facing the same direction as you take right arm up towards the sky into that twist. Lovely. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, bring the hand down. Downward dog or right leg up and back into a three-legged dog this time. And then both feet find the floor, downward dog. Option to take a child pose or inhale forwards to plank. And exhale to lower down onto your tummy. Peeling the chest up into that cobra as you breathe in. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Pause there, gather your thoughts, gather your breath. Hips elevated back, taking child pose if you need to. And then take again those little baby steps towards the top of your mat, bending your knees as much as you need to. Ready to breathe into your halfway lift when you're ready, into your flat back. And exhale to fold. Rising on an inhale. And exhaling, bringing the hands to the heart. Lovely. So feet underneath hips. Deep knee bend as you sweep the arms all the way out and up, breathing in. Down into that forward fold as you breathe out. Lifting up halfway as you breathe in. And this time, right leg steps back into your warrior two. So heel in, toes facing the long edge of your mat. Cartwheeling the arms up. So this time, your hips are square onto the long edge of your mat. Beautiful. So we're going to straighten the legs. Take both arms up towards the sky. Now, pop your hips towards the right. So you can bring that left hand down to your shin or your thigh into your triangle pose. The other arm is reaching up towards the sky. Lovely. You're going to bend the knee back into your warrior two. And then take the left arm up and back now into a reverse warrior. Lovely. Back into your warrior two. And then forearm to thigh, top arm up or up and alongside the ear. Lovely. Back into your warrior two. Let's add the breath. So as you inhale, we take the arms up. And as you exhale, we push the hips back and bring that left hand down into your triangle. Other arm reaching up towards the sky. Bend the front knee back into your warrior. Inhale. Exhale as you arc the body towards the back of the room. Beautiful. Inhaling into your warrior. And exhaling into that side angle, forearm to thigh. Beautiful. We'll find our way back into our warrior. So we're going to add on the next time. So straightening legs, inhale, reaching up towards the sky. And as you exhale, bump the hips to the right. And we'll bring that left hand down to your shin or your thigh. Now pause there, arm reaching up towards the sky, option to stay there. Or take that top arm alongside your ear for an extended triangle. Keep the hips pressed forwards. Lovely. Bend the front knee back into your warrior, breathing in. Breathing out, we reverse our warrior. Now option to stay there. Or bend your front knee and lift your heel. So we're sending that front knee forwards. Make sure it's not rolling out to the side. Lovely. Drop the heel. Inhale back into your warrior two. Exhale, forearm to thigh. Top arm up or up and over. Or see now maybe if you can lower your hips and bring that front hand down a little bit lower towards the inside of your ankle. Beautiful. Back into your warrior. Gorgeous. Let's reverse our warrior one last time as you inhale. And as you exhale, take a big windmill of the hands all the way down, framing that front foot. Push off the back foot as you inhale into a flat back. And exhale to fold over the legs. Take a deep knee bend as you rise up to stand. Inhale. Straight back down to finish this off. Exhale into your forward fold. Lovely. So halfway lift, inhale. And this time left leg steps back, heel in, toes out. Ready for that warrior two sequence. So when you're ready, we find our warrior two. Beautiful. So again, we'll do the first one without worrying too much about the breath. So we'll arrow the arms up, straightening the legs. And this time we take a little bump of the hips to the left, so you can bring the right hand down to your shin or your thigh. Other arm extends up, lovely. Bending the knee into your warrior. And then we take that right arm up and back into our reverse warrior, lovely. Back into our warrior two. And then forearm to thigh, top arm up. Or maybe we extend it alongside the ear. Lovely, back into our warrior two. Let's add the breath. So straightening legs, inhale, reaching up, lengthening the back. Exhale, bump the hips, right arm coming down into our triangle pose, lovely. Into our warrior, breath in. And breathing out, we take right arm up and back. Inhaling into your warrior two. And exhaling up and over into our side angle. Beautiful, let's find our way back into our warrior. We're doing that one more time. So inhaling, reaching up, exhaling into that triangle. We're going to pause here, right arm finding your shin or your thigh. Other arm can extend up, or this time palm down, extending out, energy through the fingertips. Keep the chest facing forwards, lovely. Back into your warrior two, breath in, bend the front knee. Breathing out, arm arcs up and back. Now front knee stays bent, and maybe you can lift the heel and sink a little deeper. Make sure that knee doesn't roll in. Plant the heel, inhale into your warrior. Last time, exhale, forearm to thigh, top arm up or up and over. Or maybe you can drop your hips and bring that front hand down a little bit lower. Beautiful, back into your warrior two. Let's reverse our warrior one last time as you inhale. Well done, guys. Exhale, big tick-tock of the hands down. Let's step back this time into a downward dog, widening your feet, mat width apart. So when you come down onto all fours, we've got our knees a little wider apart. Point the big toes together. Ease your hips back towards your heels, maybe. Take your elbows out to the side so you can rest one hand on top of the other. And allow your forehead just to rest very gently on the back of your hands. We've created a little bit of space for our chest to sink down, bottom to heels, easing back in with the rhythm of our breath, gathering up the threads of your attention if your mind has wandered. Lovely. And if your hands are underneath your head, let's just go ahead and reach both arms back out in front of you. Lifting your head, lifting your chest, walking the hands back in towards you. So we can point both knees forwards. Drop your bottom to one side and extend both legs out in front of you. Let's take a nice deep breath in as you reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale as we come down over the legs, starting to slow things down now. So beginning that inward retreat again. Easy with the breath. Remember to be generous with that knee bend if you need to this morning. Lovely. And then as you walk your hands back up towards you, this time we'll slide our right heel in. Let me drop the camera so you can see what my legs are up to here. So we'll slide that right heel in towards you. Now we can keep the foot planted on the inside of the left leg. You can step it over. You can lean into your left buttock and hook that heel around you, but make sure you've made some space to sit down nice and comfortably. So right knee's up. We've got left hand or elbow brings that knee in toward your chest. Take a big circle with the right arm. Fingertips might find the floor, or I prefer to rest my hand on my low back. That way it kind of forces me to use the deep postural muscles of my spine to take that little rotation. Try not to hoik that buttock off the floor there. So drop some weight into your sit bones as you just find that lovely twist. Oh, that feels nice. Lovely. Whatever position your legs are in, keep them there as you slowly come back through the middle and just let your body turn in the opposite direction. Lovely. Hands coming down to the floor so you can give yourself a bit of support to untwizzle your legs, extend them out in front of you. Big breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale, forwards and down. Oh, chin tucking in. You might feel a little bit more spacious in the backs of the legs now, depending on how lower back and hamstrings are feeling. And slowly, slowly, hands walking back up the legs. So this time we can slide left heel in towards you. So by all means, keep the foot on the inside, cross it over to the outside, or take that little shift so you can hook the heel around. You're sitting between your heels with the knee pointing up towards the ceiling. So right hand or right elbow locks that knee in place. Lovely. Take a big circle of the arm all the way up. And then fingertips either finding the floor or just wrap the hand around behind you. Pick up your chest, see if you can find a little bit more depth in that twist as you turn to the left this time, making sure you're not lifting that left buttock off the floor. Lovely. And then whatever the legs are doing, we'll bring ourselves back through the middle and just take the body round in the opposite direction. Oh, that's a good twist this morning. And then this time we'll bring the hands down in front, behind you, so you can again give the legs a little bounce. And then walk the heels back in towards you, so you can ease your way down onto your back and bring both knees with you. Take a little rock, maybe a little circle with the legs there, just easing out any tension. And then bringing both hands to your right knee, we'll bring the left foot down to the floor. And then this time holding on around the back of the leg, we'll take that right leg up towards the ceiling. Maybe just add a couple of circles or flexing and pointing, just release any tension through the ankle. And then flexing the foot, send that heel up towards the ceiling. Drop some weight into the back of the pelvis, relax your shoulders, soften your face. And again, just as we did at the beginning, if it feels good, you can slide that left heel away from you, all 10 toes nice and active, pulling towards your face. An option to pick up your head and chest as you slide the hands up that right leg, avoiding the knee joint, only if that feels good. Lovely. Slowly, slowly, coming all the way back down, bringing that knee with you, giving a little squeeze as you slide the other leg back in and bring it towards your chest. Have again that little rock, that little roll or a circle. And then both hands to left knee, right foot dropping down toward the floor. We'll keep the knee bent to start with, so you come up into that hamstring stretch. Again, if your hamstrings feel tight today, really keep those hands nice and low down towards your bottom. Just take a little twirl at the foot or a point of flex, just release the ankle there before you send some energy out through the heel. Stretching the leg up and away. And then if it feels good, you can extend the other leg. If it starts to pull your back, keep the knee bent. An option again to roll your head and shoulders off the mat. Sliding the hands up the leg, we'll keep the other heel pressing down onto the floor today. And then rolling your way back down, bringing that knee with you. Sliding the other heel back in towards you, and then bringing both knees in. Have that little rock, side to side, a little circle. And then we'll bring both feet back down to the floor. Now, either sliding both legs away from you or taking the feet wider apart so your inner knees can rest against each other. Take a moment to make those little adjustments to feel nice and comfortable. Chin tucking in, maybe you're arching the back a little bit to tuck those shoulder blades down away from your ears. So take a moment again, I'll just come up to seated so I can talk to you. Closing the eyes, maybe again a hand resting on your chest, hand resting on your belly if you need to find that extra comfort today, or maybe just a more visceral experience of your breath. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And as you breathe out, sense the grounding of every part of your body resting on the floor. Begin to surrender to gravity this morning. A sense of holding or gripping on the front of the body. And as you exhale, you make your chest and your belly even softer. Coming back to where it all began. And what always comes first in yoga, coming back to our breath. The rise and fall of your body with each breath. Maybe noticing if your breath has changed. Perhaps in the beginning of a practice, maybe it's feeling a little bit more calm, a little bit more settled. Maybe you're simply just more aware of the breath in your body. Noticing anywhere in your body where you might be holding on to a little bit of tension this morning. And then use your out breath to send that feeling of softness, the softening to that part of your body. Let's just take a couple of nice, easy breaths together to end our practice. Start to slightly deepen and lengthen your inhalation, getting us ready to face the rest of the day, the rest of the week, hopefully feeling a little bit more connected, body, mind and breath. Take a little wiggle through the fingers, a little roll across the back of your head, slowly from side to side. And then let's reach both arms back behind you, the legs out in front of you, and just enjoy a moment in that full body stretch. Finding the space behind you and in front of you. Again, you might have a little wiggle into your hips there. You might have a little yawn. Oh, you're actually all out. Oh, and then lowering the arms back down alongside you, bringing the heels back in and giving your knees one last squeeze. And then just let your body turn or roll onto one side or the other. It never matters which side. And then using your hands to help you push the floor away to come up to seated. Lovely. Let's find the floor again with our fingertips. See if you can lift your breastbone a little bit higher. And we'll take a lovely deep breath in together, sweeping the arms up. And exhaling, hands to heart, chin to chest. And if I don't see you between now and the big day, happy Christmas. It's official. Have a lovely Christmas. But I will be here next week if you need a little bit of pre-Christmas chill out.